The book of Revelation, chapter 6, verse 8 in the NLT. I looked up and saw a horse whose color was pale green. His rider was named Death, and his companion was the grave. These two were given authority over 1/4 of the earth to kill with the sword, and famine, and disease, and wild animals. All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Habushah, Wahara Kakodash, the honors of the elders and the apostles of the great millstone. Shalom to the hopeful elect that seeking to be the elect of the nation of Israel. They're scattered abroad amongst the heathen, some look like the heathen. We get at the 144,000 preachers, teachers, and prophets. Shalom. Shalom, shalom. Hey, this is a new moon, a new month. All praise to Yahweh Shema Shai, and time is flying. Got some articles, videos we're going to hit. As you see, going into famine. And, hey, this war, man, as we read in Revelation 6 and 8, Esau is the cause of this through war. Hey, this is, y'all know, through war. Hey, this war is causing global damage. All right? And it's going to bring forth this famine. All right? All to set up this digital system, this mark of the beast system, so people can comply. Real quick, 16 hours ago, the Standard, London faces food shortages as Iran war hits CO2 supplies. Real quick. It says, what's the other one? Hold on, where is it? Right here. Then we got a video on this too. 21 hours ago. It says the biggest food manufacturing layoffs of 2026. Plant closures and production shifts sweep the United States. And we're going to read this, right? I want to get these articles first. Then, I want to hit them two joints first. Play the videos. Fucking Edomites, man. These are two videos we're going to play. But before we get that, I want to get this Habakkuk. Well, I'll close it. 3 and 17. Because we know this is the time of Esau coming down with great wrath, because he has but a short time. Hey, matter of fact, let's get that before we get this Habakkuk 3. Revelation 12 and 12. Therefore rejoice ye heavens, the elect, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. See, the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea are the people. Now, the hopeful elect that's seeking to be the elect of the nation of Israel, who are to rejoice, ye that's in the heavens, and ye that dwell in them, that's the elect of Israel. See, we're rejoicing, us as a hopeful elect that's seeking to be the elect of the nation of Israel, we're rejoicing because these prophecies must come to pass, and we strongly believe that Yahweh Shema Shai is going to protect us and feed us and comfort us during these times. And we know we got next. We know we the Israelites. We know we got next. And these things must come to pass. And being comforted and fed and protected during these times, that's prophecy as well. All right? Not just the doom and gloom and people going to die. Hey, that's why Yahweh Shema Shai has us to go into comforting scriptures, man. That's what Elder Apostle Gabal's YouTube handle is, Daily Edification. You know? Hey, you got the big brother over there in California, the big brother Michael Allah. His YouTube handle is GMS Inspiration of the Almighty. You know, you got several other brothers, you know, that have titles that's going into exhortation, man. Okay? The videos always about exhorting, uplifting the elect. All right? So those as the inhabitants of the earth would be 2/3 of Israel. And you heathen that's cleaving unto this place, which we know you heathen, salvation ain't for you. We always got to make that statement because you heathen really think you can slip through the cracks, man. Like it's a little crack in the door where you can suck your stomach in and just squeeze through like you damn plastic man or something. Nah. Israelites only, according to seed line of your father, not your skin color. Now it's woe to you, the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. And the devil shall come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth he has but a short time. So Yahweh Shema shall got the spirit of Esau to orchestrate these things, as we read in Revelation 6 and 8. He's the rider of the pale horse. He is hell and his death. He's causing these things, right? Now you get Habakkuk chapter 3. That's why we're to rejoice. Right? Habakkuk 3 and 17. It says, KJV, although the fig tree shall not blossom, neither shall fruit be in the vines, the labor of the olive shall fail, and the field shall yield no meat. That's a famine. The flock shall be cut off from the fold, and there shall be no herd in the stalls. That's a famine. So it just covered fruits, vegetables, and meat, and milk. It says, and wine. Yet will I rejoice in the Lord Yahweh Shema Shah. I will rejoice in the God of my salvation. You see? You see that? It says, the Lord God Yahweh Shema Shah is my strength, and he will make my feet like hinds' feet. That's stability. Being stable. You ever seen a deer fall? And you ever seen a deer climb rocks? That's what it's going into. That's stability. At your highest point, them steep hills and mountains, they can climb rocks and mountains, just a lick salt, and they don't fall. Hey, that's going into stability, structure that the elect is going to have, because the elect of Israel has Yahweh Shema Shah. And he will make me to walk upon my high places, to the chief singer of my string instruments. This is a prayer, which is a song. NLT verse 17, even though the fig trees have no blossoms, and there are no grapes on the vines, even though the olive crop fails, and the fields lie empty and barren, even though the flocks die in the fields, and the cattle barns are empty, yet will I rejoice in the Lord Yahweh Shema Shah. I will be joyful in the God of my salvation. The sovereign Lord Yahweh Shema Shah is my strength. He makes me as sure-footed as a deer, able to tread upon the heights. You see? For the choir director, this prayer is to be accompanied by string instruments. So hey, we supposed to be, this is a song, man. Rejoicing. All right? This is a song of comfort. Because when you go to the top of the chapter, it's going to the return of our Lord and Savior, Yahweh Shai, how he's going to be destroyed, man. And you continue to read down, it's going into the chaos. World War III, the troops coming after us, famine, and how Yahweh Shema Shah is going to protect us. You see, so we're to rejoice because this is prophecy, all right? And the elect are going to be protected, Lord, when we're part of the elect. Now, let's get this video right here. Now, this family going to be real. Hey, this family going to be crazy. This will be crazy. Now, let's get this clown right here. I forget his name, but he like the prime minister over there in the UK. Will Iran war cause food and fuel shortages in the UK? Ain't this already happening? But see, these Edomites don't like to answer the question. He's going to say, well, we're keeping an eye on it. Hell, you could keep an eye on it all day, but you ain't answer the question. The answer is yes. It's a global famine. All right? All this stuff is globally, but America going to get hit the worst. See, you Americans going to know and understand that, hey, your fat potato chip eating ass, ice cream slurping, soda drinking, pot belly, doo-doo stinking ass. You gonna come to the realization, man, that hey, that gluttonous spirit is all wrong, man. You can come to the realization that y'all took better care of yourselves, that you didn't eat as much because the body's not designed to consume all that food, man. And it's not even food, it's junk, it's chemicals, right, that makes you addictive. You should only be eating one to two times a day. All right, you're not giving your body time to digest. That's why y'all in y'all 20s, you got kids 15, well, young adults, actually young adults, men and women, 15, aging quick. They're in their 20s looking like they're in their mid-30s. By the time they're 30, they look like they're 50. You see, you ain't taking care of yourselves, man. Your body breaking down quick. And you see brothers and the true sisters too. Man, we look younger than this what's this Gen Z? We look younger than them. You see? Hey, the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel look good, man. Brothers look good. Brothers handsome, man. Brothers working out, looking good. Hey, the women of Israel work out. They do what they do. They exercise, walking, whatever your exercise consists of. They eating good. You know. They taking care of themselves, skin glowing. And you got these people, these kids, and they young adults, and they teens and 20s, man, look like trash. Because they're eating all the time, eating the wrong foods. Well, not taking care of yourselves. You're dying off your stink. That ain't being funny. Hey, y'all gonna come to the realization that, hey, y'all should have learned how to fast. Y'all should have been fasting. You shouldn't have been eating so much. And you gonna wish that, hey, you took better care of yourselves. Most importantly, you can wish that you took heed to the words of Yahweh Shema Shai, which shows you how to do all these things. But let's start off with him first.
Just on fuel shortages and food shortages because of the war in Iran, should we expect shortages this summer?
Well, obviously the war in Iran is having an impact, as you'd expect, on a daily basis. We're assessing the impact, looking at the risks, and making sure we're taking all the measures as a government that we can to mitigate those risks. I know it's a cause of concern, but we're absolutely on it.
So, just on...
The answer is yes. All right? The answer is yes. All right. See, these are your leaders, and over here in America, the same way. They're not giving y'all straight answers. And let's get this one right here.
How do you say spicy in Spanish? Picante. Repeat after me. The World Bank's chief economist.
It says West Asia tensions push millions to war hunger as global food crisis deepens. Now, as you see, that screenshot is over 300 million face food shortage. And the first, that number just stood out to me, 300 million. Hey, that's over here in America. It's approximately 340, 350 something million people in America. You see? This joint gonna be crazy. Alright? It's gonna be crazy.
The World Bank's chief economist, Indermeet Gill, has warned that global hunger could rise sharply as the economic shock waves from the West Asia conflict spread worldwide. In an interview with AFP, the economist expressed concern over food insecurity and said that around 300 million people could suffer from acute food shortage and that it could go up by 20% very quickly. Gill said the disruption of key supply chains has already driven up oil-linked inputs such as fertilizers. Such modern agriculture depends on these inputs. Rising costs are expected to push food prices higher in the coming months, while current food supplies were produced before the crisis escalated. Future harvests are likely to be affected. That, he said, could create a delayed but severe consequence. Higher fertilizer prices may also trigger protectionist responses, with countries restricting food exports to secure domestic supply, such as measures that could intensify global shortage and accelerate price increases. The burden is expected to fall disproportionately on low-income populations who spread a larger share of their income on essentials like food and fuel. Countries already facing conflict or politically fragile are especially vulnerable, with risk of widespread hunger increasing if the situation persists. Beyond food insecurity, the broader economic outlook is also deteriorating. Gill warned that prolonged conflict could push global inflation significantly higher while slowing economic growth. This combination would worsen debt pressures in poorer countries and limit their ability to respond effectively to crises. Although large economies such as the United States, China, and India may cushion global averages, Gill cautioned that underlying vulnerabilities in smaller and developing economies are far more severe than headline figures suggest.
So there you have it. Like they said, it's a global food shortage, a global crisis. A global crisis. Let's get 2nd Esdras, chapter 16 and 1. And it reads, Woe be unto thee, Babylon, America, and Asia. Woe be unto thee, Egypt and Syria. That's the globe. Gird up yourselves with cloths of sack and hair. Bewail your children and be sorry, for your destruction is at hand. All right? And Yahweh Shema Shai said, what? Well, to that famine. He was talking about Israel right here, where the same thing applies to today. Ezekiel 5 and 16, it says, When I shall send upon them the evil arrows of famine, which shall be for their destruction, and which I will send to destroy you, and I will increase the famine upon you, and will break your staff of bread, so will I send upon you famine and evil beasts, and they shall bereave thee, and pestilence and blood shall pass through thee, and I will bring the sword upon thee. I, the Lord Yahweh Shema shall have spoken. So you see that famine going to be serious. All right, that famine going to be serious. Now let's get, what's the other one? Let me see. Let's close that joint out. Let's close that joint out.
Stop right there. I said stop. Officer, stand down.
And let's read this right here. Biggest food manufacturing layoffs of 2026. Plant closures and production shifts sweep the United States 22 hours ago. The coconut mama. And the thing is, all this food is processed through these facilities, man. You see? You see? You see how they set the American people up to where, oh, we don't want you farming on your own land. You see why Bill Gates buying all the farmland. You see how the past couple years they've been, hey, the bird flu to my some, they've been culling chickens. They've been killing all the cattle dropping dead. Hey, they don't want these people to own their own farms. They don't want people to grow their own food at home. You know, raise their own chickens, cattle, none of that. See, they always say, hey, they want you to depend on the system. Now, since 2020, we've been seeing manufacturing plants catch fire, blow up, be destroyed. You got this war going on. And they never rebuilt those facilities, you know, those food processing plants. Now you have more and more big food manufacturing layoffs. All right? It says biggest food manufacturing layoffs of 2026. Plant closures and production shifts sweep the United States. And not too far from me, it's a city called Cofield, where they produce the chicken feed. Plant blew up last month. One guy died. And they just demolished the entire facility. So it's beyond just people in the surrounding area having a job. Now it's going to chicken feed, okay? Which you have Purdue Farms rely on that chicken feed, man. You know, Purdue's largest plant is Lewiston, North Carolina. Okay, and that's maybe 20 minutes from Cofield. All right. So you see, man, how about Shemash? I'm gonna jack this place up, man. Let's read. Is jacking this place up, and then the way to hit these Americans, you see, is by their job and food. The two things that they care about the most, their money and their food. Without money, you can't get food. Hell, without food, it doesn't matter if you got money. You know? So you already know, rationing coming. Hey, as we've been saying by way of the Holy Spirit, these things, this is prophecy, and these things are orchestrated by Esau on the left-hand side, fulfilling his role. And, we're in a time of, this great breakdown, man. The great breakdown. Yahweh Shema Shai is breaking down the pride of the wicked. And that's these Edomites and 2/3 of Israel. All right? And 2/3 of Israel going to get it the worst because salvation is for you. And you pull back the shoulder and you slap down the hands of Yahweh Shema Shai. Hey, you don't reverence the Lord's priests. So you don't care about your own life. And you pretty much say, I don't care how I'm eating. I'm going to live my life right now. I'm eating now. Yeah, you eating now until you're not eating later. You say, how can I get right with the Lord? You come on, man, I'm going to tell you, hey, go call on Jesus. See what Jesus got for you. Because Yahweh Shema Shai ain't got nothing for your ass. So empty plate. If you get an Amos, I believe it's the 4th chapter. Yahweh Shema Shai said he would give you cleanness of teeth. I mean, you ain't got to worry about using no dental floss to get the damn food out your teeth because you ain't have nothing to eat. I mean, just you ain't have, if you got cavities, don't worry about it. Don't worry about if you got cavities, bad teeth. Don't worry about that shit. Because you ain't going to get nothing stuck in your damn teeth. They even activate them nerves, to irritate them nerves. You good. Y'all about Shema Shai got you. Right where he wants you. Hey, your pride, hey, you get that Proverbs 1. It said your own desserts shall destroy you. The U.S. food manufacturing sector is facing a fresh wave of layoffs in 2026 as major companies restructure operations, close plants, and shift production strategies from soup factories to beef processing facilities. It says the changes are impacting workers across multiple states and signaling a broader reset of how food is made and distributed. And we already know you're making the fake foods. All right, we know that. And there's going to be less foods. All right? You control the people. All right, like that. Campbell's repurposes Texas plant cuts jobs. The Campbell's company is laying off roughly 205 workers at its Paris, Texas facility following a March 2026 notice. The plant isn't shutting down entirely, but it is being repurposed away from soup production towards sauces like Prego and paste. Now, hold on, what the hell you can do with some goddamn Prego and paste? You gonna put it on your fingers and suck your fingers and think you got a meal? So they're talking about making damn paste and sauce for you to put on people, man. What you mean? You eat baby knuckles? But hey, soup is like you put like you got chicken broth and beef broth and stuff like that, man. That stuff is beneficial for your health, man. People don't understand the importance of broth. All right, but you making goddamn sauce and paste. What you gonna do with that? Full of sugar. You ain't got no meat, no nutrients. Anyway, the move reflects changing consumer demand as shoppers increasingly favor different product categories. Still, the transition comes at the cost of hundreds of manufacturing roles tied to legacy production lines. Tyson Foods shutters major beef plant. Beef is a superfood. I don't eat beef, but beef is a superfood, man. It just still my body too long, and I can't hold it like that. Like it really make me feel bad. But lamb, I might eat 4 or 5 times out the year. I go to this Mediterranean restaurant every time I go to a certain place out of town, and I used to get chicken all the time, but then I switched up and started back getting the beef gyros. And that beef, hey, that's a superfood, man. All right. It says Tyson Foods began phasing layoffs in January 2026 tied to the closure of its beef processing plant in Lexington, Nebraska, one of the largest facilities of its kind. The move laid off 3,200 workers, nearly 1/3 of the small town of Lexington's population. And don't forget, 100 and something thousand? Correct me on the number, y'all. What was it? 800 and something thousand acres? 800 acres or something like that. Land burned up or something like that in Nebraska. Last month? It says the shutdown affects thousands of workers and is driven by a shrinking U.S. cattle supply and rising operational costs. It marks one of the most significant food manufacturing disruptions of the year so far. Nestle trims workforce in California. Nestle cut 88 jobs at the facility in Maraloma, California, with layoffs taking effect in mid-March 2026. The layoffs are the first of many, with Nestle announcing plans to cut 16,000 jobs globally. While smaller in scale, the cuts highlight ongoing adjustments across large food manufacturers as companies streamline operations and respond to shifting market conditions. PepsiCo snack plant closure signals broader shift. Going to your Frito-Lay snacks results in hundreds of job losses. A nationwide manufacturing reset. It says together these layoffs point to a larger transformation underway in the food industry. Companies are closing closing or repurposing aging facilities, reconsolidating production into high efficiency plants, investing in automation to reduce labor costs, AI. The result is a growing number of layoffs across food manufacturing hubs, even as overall demand for packaged foods remains steady. For workers, the impact is immediate and local, but at an industry level, 2026 is shaping up to be a year defined by fewer factories, leaner operations, and a fundamentally reshaped food production system, you see? So a less people, more AI, robots taking over jobs, less people working, meaning more people out of work. And if it's more people working, if it's less people working, meaning more people out of work, then that's more people that don't have the means to buy food. Okay, and food is not being produced at the same level. All right, so it's a food shortage. All right, hence famine. Okay, so yeah, it is gonna be fewer factories, leaner operations, and a fundamentally reshaped food production system, man. This place finished. This place finished, man. So yeah, I just wanted to hit this real quick through the spirit of Panya. How about Shema Shai? Though we know these things are coming as we read Habakkuk 3, we ought to rejoice, okay, at prophecy because it's the words of Yahweh Shema Shai. His words are faithful and true. And also as we read in Habakkuk 3 and many other scriptures that we always get, the elect of Israel, hopefully I'm one of them, part of the elect, will laugh at famine, meaning the elect will be comforted during these times, will be fed and nourished during these times. Stay prayed for the names of Yahweh Shema Shai. Shalom.